Welcome then to Marina Bay and a tough, bumpy street circuit that will test these drivers to their absolute limit. So sit back and enjoy the action here at the Singapore Grand Prix. Off the back of a fantastic qualifying session, it's time to see how our starting grid looks like for today's race. So with the race not far away from starting, here's what today's grid rundown looks like. World champion Max Verstappen starts from pole position, and it's Charles Leclerc in P2. Considering the rest of the grid, we have Sainz, Fernando Alonso, Hamilton, Perez, Russell, Norris, Stroll, Ocon, Gasly, Bottas, Tsunoda, Hülkenberg, Zhou, Magnussen, Albon, Oscar Piastri, De Vries, and Logan Sargent. Now it's almost time for lights out, so let's go down to the track. It's not going to be plain sailing for our drivers today, although with the sky falling as it is, perhaps sailing isn't too far from the truth. Natalie Pinkham, good to have you with us here today. Your thoughts?
Well, first and foremost, I'm looking forward to staying dry here in the commentary box. Thank goodness. The rain, though, does add an extra level of spice, doesn't it?
Right then, the formation lap has started, and I must say the weather conditions aren't the best today for visibility and for grip. As each driver performs this lap, they'll be wanting to settle in and concentrate, as this race, in these conditions, will require a lot of focus. So as all the cars take their positions on the grid, the teams will be hoping their strategies pay off for them in today's race. The question I'm asking is which teams have got it right, which ones have got it horribly wrong?
Second place, you're in second place. Verstappen's ahead of you. Okay, here's the gap that we're trailing the car ahead by. 1.2 seconds. They're on a fresh set of inters, and that's Carlos behind. Okay, push, gap to the car behind. 1.2 seconds. They're on a fresh set of inters. Pit window will be open in 17 laps time. Pit window opens in 17 laps. ETA on this rain clearing up is about 10 minutes, so just keep your concentration out there, you're doing well. Inters seem to be the fastest tyre for now. Verstappen ahead. Okay, keep an eye on that gap ahead, please. 0.9 seconds. They're on a fresh set of inters. Their tyres are 2 laps old. Okay, we think they've got 2 stops remaining. 2 stops remaining. Your last lap time was 2 minutes, 01.5. Okay, so you're gaining by around 0.6 a lap. Car behind is Carlos. Okay, so the gap to the car behind is 2.0 seconds. They're on a fresh set of inters. Their tyres are 2 laps old. Okay, we think they've got 2 stops remaining. 2 stops remaining. Time last lap was a 2:02.1. The weather's certainly eased off for the time being, but we've still got a lot of standing water out there. We're happy for you to stay out on the inters for now. Radar showing a clear patch on its way. There's about 10 more minutes of this rain. Verstappen's ahead of you. Okay, so the gap to the car ahead, 1.3 seconds. They're on a fresh set of inters. Okay, they've got 4 laps on their tyres. Okay, we think they've got 2 stops remaining. 2 stops remaining. And the time last lap was 2 minutes. Okay, that last lap was a 1:00.0. Okay, we're dropping back by around 4 tenths a lap. Give it everything you got. So we're looking at another 5, maybe 10 minutes of this race. Inters look like the best tyre for now. Okay, this is good. You're catching the car ahead. Okay, so we're leading our teammate by 4.1 seconds. Situation's an interesting one, but I think the right call is to stick with what we've got for now. Verstappen's just put up the fastest lap of the race so far. It's Verstappen ahead. Less than a second separates you. They're on a fresh set of inters. Their tyres are 6 laps old. Okay, we think they've got 2 stops remaining. 2 stops remaining. Your last lap time was 1:58.6. All right, you're falling back by 1/10 a lap. rain's passing now, so expect it to ease up in the next few minutes. So we should see a dry line starting to form fairly rapidly, so make sure you cool your tyres down the straights. Inters seem to be the fastest tyre for now. Right, let's not stay behind this car for too long, we need to get past. Okay mate, don't worry about the damage. I've got some new strategy options if you go and check your MFD. Copy. Looks like we're running on a dry track soon. Back to dry shortly. Pitting this lap then. Coming to the pits at the end of this lap. Alright, consensus in the garage is that it's probably about time for the slick tyre now. It's going to be slippery, but it'll probably be quicker.
And away we go, and that was a very nice stop. No problems, very smooth for Leclerc.
Okay, 2 stops left now, 2 stops. Good job, nice overtake. That's P5, you're in P5. Verstappen's ahead of you, and gap to the car in front is 1.5 seconds. They're on fresh mediums. Okay, Zhu's behind you now. They're on old intermediates. Our gap to first place is 16.2 seconds. leading the pack, that's P1. And Verstappen's behind. They're on fresh mediums. And that's 13 laps now until your pit window's open. Affirmative, medium tyres at the next stop. No rain expected, no rain expected for the time being. Okay, dry seem like the best tyre for now. Verstappen behind you now. Our gap behind is 1.1 seconds. They're on fresh mediums. Okay, they've got 4 laps on their tyres. We think they've got one more stop. Time last lap was a 1:44.4. Gap to your teammate behind is 2.0 seconds. They're on fresh softs. They're in third. And the time last lap was a 1:44.5. Okay, so that last lap was a 1:44.5. Okay, so we're leading our teammate by 2.7 seconds. Tyre condition still looking good. Verstappen's behind. Okay, the gap behind is 1.2 seconds. They're on fresh mediums. Okay, their tyres are 7 laps old. We think they've got one more stop. Your last lap time was a 1:45.0. Okay, that last lap was a 1:45.3. First position, front of the pack. Verstappen behind you now. And the gap behind us is 1.5 seconds. They're on fresh mediums. And that's 6 laps until your pit window's open. We've still got 45 laps to complete here. Gap to your teammate behind is 4.2 seconds. Okay, they're on old softs. They're in third. Time last lap was a 1 minute 45.7. Okay, so we're leading our teammate by 4.7 seconds, and Verstappen's behind. We're leading the car behind by 1.8 seconds. They're on old mediums. Their tyres are 9 laps old. We think they've got one more stop. And the time last lap was a 1:45.3. No tyre concerns at the moment, just focus on the driving. Verstappen behind you now. Okay, gap to the car behind. 1.6 seconds. They're on old mediums. Okay, they've done 10 laps on those tyres. We think they've got one more stop. Your last lap time was a 1 minute 45.2. Time last lap was a 1:45.3. Verstappen's behind. Okay, car behind trailing us, 1.6 seconds. They're on old mediums. Your pit window is going to open in 3 laps time. Pit window opens in 3 laps. And that's 42 laps to go. Approaching the pit window and you're going to be on mediums. Conditions look stable at the moment, no rain currently expected. Dries definitely seem like the fastest tyre at the moment. No issues with tyre wear for now. Keep taking care of them. Last lap was a 1 minute 46.2. Okay, we want you to pick this lap, so push now, push. Carlos is in for his stop now.
No problems, really smooth. Ferrari, no doubt, very happy with that stop.
You only have to stop once now, one stop left. Fourth position, you're in fourth position. Russell's ahead of you now. Okay, gap ahead is 4.1 seconds. They're on old mediums. Verstappen behind you now. Okay, push, push, gap to the car behind. 1.3 seconds. They're on fresh mediums. Okay, so gap to the leader is 15.1 seconds. Your pit window opens in 15 laps time. 38 laps to go. That's Russell just ahead. Push for the position. Our gap to the car in front is 1.7 seconds. They're on old mediums. Okay, they've done 15 laps on those tyres. We think they've got one more stop. Time last lap was a 1:46.8. Gap to your teammate behind is 10.5 seconds. They're on fresh softs. They're currently 6th. And the time last lap was a 1:43.5. Okay, you sat in P2. It's Perez ahead of you. Okay, gap to the car ahead is 8.7 seconds. They're on old mediums. Russell behind. They're on old mediums. 37 laps to go. Lap time was a 1:43.8. Verstappen's behind. Okay, so the gap to the car behind is 1.9 seconds. They're on fresh mediums. Their tyres are 3 laps old. Your last lap time was a 1:43.6. You've lost some time to the car behind. Perez ahead. Okay, here's the gap that we're trailing the car ahead by. 3.3 seconds. They're on old mediums. Their tyres are 18 laps old. We think they've got one more stop. Time last lap was a 1:47.1. You're closing in by 3 seconds a lap. Catching the car ahead by a couple of seconds a lap now, really good. Brilliant, nice move, keep going. You're in first position, front of the pack. Perez is behind you. They're on old mediums. You've got 11 laps until your pit window opens. 34 laps to go. P1. Perez behind. Our gap behind is 2.7 seconds. You've got 10 laps until your pit window opens. Pit window opens in 10 laps, and that's 33 laps to go. Okay, so we're leading our teammate by 12.0 seconds. Okay, they're on old softs. They're in fourth, and the time last lap was a 1 minute 44.5. Verstappen behind you now. Okay, the gap behind is 3.0 seconds. They're on fresh mediums. Their tyres are 6 laps old. Your last lap time was a 1:43.9. Verstappen's behind, and the gap behind us is 3.5 seconds. They're on fresh mediums. Okay, their tyres are 7 laps old. Time last lap was a 1 minute 44.0. position, front of the pack. Verstappen behind you now. You're leading the car behind by 3.3 seconds. They're on fresh mediums. Your pit window will be open in 7 laps time. Okay, 30 laps till the end now. Gap to your teammate behind is 0.8 seconds. Okay, they're on old softs. They're in 4th, and the time last lap was a 1:45.2. Verstappen's behind. Okay, gap to the car behind. 3.3 seconds. They're on old mediums. Their tyres are 9 laps old. Your last lap time was a 1:44.3. Okay, that last lap was a 1:44.4. No need to worry about the tyre condition for now, everything's looking good. Okay, radar is clear, weather is looking good for now. Okay, dries seem like the best tyre for now. Verstappen behind you now. Okay, car behind trailing us, 3.8 seconds. They're on old mediums. Their tyres are 11 laps old now. Time last lap was a 1 minute 44.6. You're leading the pack, that's P1, and Verstappen's behind. Okay, push, gap to the car behind, 3.9 seconds. They're on old mediums. Your pit window's going to open in 3 laps time. Pit window opens in 3 laps. And 26 laps to go now. Okay, so we're leading our teammate by 25.2 seconds. Okay, they're on old softs. They're in third, and the time last lap was a 1:46.7. We're approaching the pit window and you're going to be on mediums. Carlos is in the pits. Verstappen behind you now. Okay, so the gap to the car behind is 3.8 seconds. They're on old mediums. Their tyres are 13 laps old. The last lap time was a 1 minute 44.9. Currently, the fastest lap is a 1:43.4. Sorry, we can't provide you with that information right now. Tyre condition still looking good. gap to your teammate behind is 52.1 seconds. They're on fresh mediums. They're currently 6th. Time last lap was a 2:05.3. And Verstappen's behind. Our gap behind is 3.8 seconds. They're on old mediums, and the time last lap was a 1:45.1. We're going to box this lap and push hard on the E-lap.
And away we go, and that was a very nice stop. No problems, very smooth for Leclerc.
Look after these tyres now, you want to finish the race on this compound. Currently in P3, it's Hamilton ahead. Okay, keep an eye on that gap ahead, please. 1.0 seconds. They're on old mediums. Alonso behind you now. Okay, the gap behind is 4.5 seconds. They're on old mediums. The distance to the leader is 24.4 seconds. That was our last stop. No more scheduled pit stops. Let's go. Okay, 22 laps left. Got a lot of spare energy, okay to use your overtake button. It's Verstappen ahead. Okay, so the gap to the car ahead, 23.5 seconds. They're on old mediums. Their tyres are 17 laps old. The last lap time was a 1:45.7. Fastest lap at this point in time is a 1:43.1. We don't have the data for that, I'm afraid. Okay, so we're leading our teammate by 19.7 seconds. Verstappen's ahead of you, and gap to the car in front is 15.6 seconds. They're on old mediums. Their tyres are 19 laps old. Time last lap was a 1:46.5. Okay, you're gaining by over 5 seconds a lap. Keep it up. Verstappen ahead. Okay, gap ahead is 13.7 seconds. They're on old mediums. Their tyres are 20 laps old, and the time last lap was a 1 minute 45.7. You're gaining by 2 seconds a lap. Amazing. That's Hamilton behind, and the gap behind us is 9.8 seconds. They're on old mediums. Their tyres are 19 laps old. Your last lap time was a 1:46.1. Gap to your teammate behind is 20.4 seconds. They're on old mediums. They're currently 5th. Time last lap was a 1 minute 43.8. Verstappen's ahead of you. Our gap to the car in front is 9.4 seconds. They're on old mediums. Okay, they've done 22 laps on those tyres, and the time last lap was a 1:45.9. You're closing in by 3 seconds a lap. Okay, so we're leading our teammate by 21.1 seconds. They're on old mediums. They're in 4th. Your last lap time was a 1 minute 44.1. Okay, you're catching the car ahead, but remember, we need to get to the end of the race on these tyres. Gap to your teammate behind is 22.0 seconds. It's Verstappen ahead. Okay, gap to the car ahead is 6.6 seconds. They're on old mediums. Their tyres are 23 laps old. Time last lap was a 1:45.9. You're gaining by 2 seconds a lap. Amazing. Verstappen's ahead of you. Okay, here's the gap that we're trailing the car ahead by. 5.3 seconds. They're on old mediums. Their tyres are 24 laps old, and the time last lap was a 1:45.8. You're gaining by 2 seconds a lap. Amazing. Okay, so we're leading our teammate by 22.9 seconds. They're on old mediums. They're in fourth. Your last lap time was a 1:44.5. Verstappen ahead. Okay, keep an eye on that gap ahead, please. 3.2 seconds. They're on old mediums. Okay, they've done 25 laps on their tyres. Time last lap was a 1:46.0. You're gaining by 2 seconds a lap. Amazing. Second place, we're in second place. Verstappen's ahead of you. Okay, so the gap to the car ahead, 1.9 seconds. They're on old mediums. Hamilton behind you now. We're leading the car behind by 24.9 seconds. They're on old mediums. Pit strategy complete. See these tyres through to the end now. 13 laps to go. No tyre concerns at the moment, just focus on the driving. Okay, no issues with tyre wear for now. Keep taking care of them. Gap to your teammate behind is 28.0 seconds. They're on old mediums. They're in third, and the time last lap was a 1:45.4. It's Verstappen ahead, and gap to the car in front is 1.0 seconds. They're on old mediums. Their tyres are 27 laps old. Your last lap time was a 1:45.6. 1.2 seconds advantage per lap. Keep going. Okay, good work. Great pass. You're in first position, front of the pack. Verstappen behind you now. Okay, the gap is less than a second. They're on old mediums. Look after these tyres now. You want to finish the race on this compound. Okay, we're into the last 10 laps now. threat of rain for the time being. Conditions look good. Dries definitely seem like the fastest tyre at the moment. That last lap was a 1:43.2. Okay, so we're leading our teammate by 28.2 seconds. They're on old mediums. They're in third. Time last lap was a 1:45.4. And Verstappen's behind. Okay, gap to the car behind. 4.5 seconds. They're on old mediums. And the time last lap was a 1:46.1. Gap to your teammate behind is 29.4 seconds. Pack, that's P1. Verstappen behind you now. Okay, car behind trailing us, 6.2 seconds. They're on old mediums. Look after these tyres now, we want to finish the race on this compound. Okay, 7 laps to go. Okay, so we're leading our teammate by 30.1 seconds. They're on old mediums. They're in third. Your last lap time was a 1 minute 45.5. That last lap was a 1:44.8. Green flag. And Verstappen's behind. Okay, push, gap to the car behind. 7.4 seconds. They're on old mediums. Okay, their tyres are more than 30 laps old. Time last lap was a 1 minute 46.0. And that's just 5 laps of fuel remaining. No need to worry about the tyre condition for now, everything's looking good. Okay, so the last lap time was a 1:44.8. Verstappen behind you now. Okay, so the gap to the car behind is 11.1 seconds. They're on old mediums. Okay, their tyres are more than 30 laps old, and the time last lap was a 1 minute 46.7. Okay, last lap time was a 1:45.0. Okay, we've got 4 laps of fuel remaining. tyre condition still looking good. Gap to your teammate behind is 31.6 seconds. They're on old mediums. They're in third. Your last lap time was a 1 minute 45.5. First position, front of the pack, and Verstappen's behind. Our gap behind is 12.6 seconds. They're on old mediums. Look after these tyres now, you want to finish the race on this compound. 2 laps left, next time by will be your final lap. Okay, just 2 laps of fuel remaining now. Okay mate, this is the final lap of the race. Final lap.
You've done it!
Oh, superb driving. That is the race win, my friend. Well done.
Looking at the podium, you can see that red suit familiar to fans across the globe. A world-class win for a world-class team. Ferrari, do it again. The gap at the top of the championship has been cut down after a difficult race today for our championship leader. So let's review the drivers' standings. So then, Natalie Pinkham, who would you rank as your driver of the day?
It's got to be Valtteri Bottas, a commanding performance that I think had the audience's eyes glued to him for the majority of the race.
Let's move on to the constructors. No change in the top spot then, but with today's points, their hold on that lead is getting weaker. Well, what an end to another fantastic weekend of racing. Thanks to everyone who joined us, and we'll see you for the next one.